arrested and charged with his twin brother's murder. But police say there's more to the story.
The uproar tonight after a college student uses a racial slur online. Does her punishment fit?
The deal to end the government shutdown, who won and who lost? And tonight, a Georgia State athlete's Instagram post is sparking one of the biggest debates we have seen in quite a while. Natalia Martinez played on the school's soccer team. She's accused of using the N-word in that post, and that post shared all over campus. Now, she was suspended from the team, and today she withdrew from the university after fellow students were putting pressure on the school to have her expelled. That alone is a big story. But just last week, there were two other cases of students using this same word, one allegedly involving some local high school cheerleaders and the other involving an Alabama sorority member. The conversation online tonight brings up some points that may make you uncomfortable, like, is it fair to punish white students but not black students for using the N-word? Should schools be policing every student's social media accounts? And is there a better way to handle these cases involving young adults and kids to educate them rather than suspending them or having them expelled? Well, the late feed is tackling these issues tonight, starting first with Christy Etheridge, who talked to students at GSU tonight. What did they have to say, Christy?
Well, Vinny, even the reaction on campus was mixed. Some say the school should have expelled her, and others say it's free speech. So even though it's offensive, it is her right to say it. This is the post that started the whole debate. She posted on Instagram and used the N-word in all caps. Now, it's cropped, so it's hard to tell what the rest of her post is saying, but this screenshot has been making the rounds on social media, and the reaction was sharp. One student even started a petition to expel her, and it got more than 600 signatures. But other students said they were only mildly bothered by it, but all of them said her post was pretty dumb, considering she goes to a school that is 40% African American.
Were you offended by what she wrote?
A little bit, but I'm not like the most sensitive person. She shouldn't have said what she said, but at the end of the day, like, she has the right to. But people can react how they want to react, so.
For her to be expelled, I thought would have been like the best course of action, but her withdrawing, I think she kind of dodged a bullet, just try to keep the pressure off herself.
The school made the decision to suspend her from the soccer team on Saturday, a day after she made the post. But here is the student code of conduct. It says that student athletes may be subject to discipline based on materials and statements posted online, including those with derogatory language or discrimination. Vinny?
Christy, you were on campus today. Let's say she did not withdraw. What would it have been like for her on campus?
Well, some of the students mentioned it could have even been dangerous for her since some people got so mad, but others say and brought up the fact that she's also a minority, being a Latina, so they thought she might be a little bit more sensitive to it.
Not trying to incite anything, but I think it wouldn't be safe for her, probably wouldn't be safe for anybody that was around her and anything, so I think making the decision to go ahead and withdraw was the best decision. So,
the reaction to this was very quick, Christy. The school, the team suspended her a day after the post. She withdrew on her own today. Here's the question. Do we know what the school would have done if she hadn't withdrawn?
Well, it's hard to say since it's a hypothetical, but we did ask the school, and they said they would definitely have started a conversation with the dean of the student's office to determine if her actions had broken the code of conduct. Vinny.
Thanks so much, Christy. Appreciate it. Great to have you aboard the Late Feed. We want to know what you think. Do you agree with the university's decision to suspend Martinez from the team? Should schools punish students over what they post off of campus? Share your comments on our Facebook page now. My legal dream team will be responding to them a little later with Cobb County Prosecutor LaTonya Hines and former prosecutor Darrell Cohen in-house with us tonight. But first, Natisha Lance is catching us up on the other big stories in tonight's Speed Feed. Natisha.
Vinny, developing right now, police are investigating a shooting that happened at an Atlanta police sergeant's home. This happened in DeKalb County at about 6 o'clock, and authorities are calling this a possible attempted suicide of the officer's girlfriend. While we don't normally cover suicides, we thought since it happened at a police officer's home that it was important for us to bring it to your attention. 16 children are recovering at home tonight after a school bus flipped over in Gilmer County. The bus was coming from Clear Creek Middle School when it rolled over on Yukon Road. We're told the injured students were treated at the hospital and released. No other vehicles were involved in that crash. A former Atlanta educator plans to plead guilty tomorrow to stealing more than $500,000 from public schools. Christopher Clemens, that's his name, is charged with more than 50 counts of theft and forgery and 2 indictments. He's accused of taking money from 2 Fulton County schools and Atlanta's Latin Academy Charter School. Clemens faces a maximum punishment of 865 years in prison and a $5.5 million fine. You've probably seen stories about service pigs, service ponies, and all other kinds of animal assistants, but some people are abusing the title. So Georgia lawmakers are cracking down on fake service animals. While the proposed bill doesn't fix the problem, it does appoint a committee to address the issue. And I know plenty of you have lots to say about this, so you can weigh in on our 11alive.com Facebook page. Vinny?
Yeah, service animals are amazing, but really don't want to see people abusing it because it puts other people in the question that really need them. Like me, I need one for something. They have them for diabetes, by the way. Did you know that? For diabetics.
Do they?
Yeah. All right,
I did not know that.
Yeah, thank you, Natisha. All right, we've got some new video just in tonight of some weather damage. This is in Decatur. This is after a tree came down on Fairview Avenue as the rain passed through the area. It took down a power line as it fell on the road, leaving about 500 homes in the dark. Georgia Power is on scene trying to make some repairs. So, Chris, you're tracking some showers for us tonight. Is it going to last all night long?
These are going to be moving out. In fact, we're seeing some drying out taking place now for areas north and west of Atlanta, northwest Georgia, west Georgia. There's just a little bit of this left here still. The front hasn't moved through yet. We've got a couple of lingering showers even here on the west side. Most of the rain is well over here to the east of I-85. A few of these moderate to light showers that will keep moving on up toward the north and to the east. As we widen out just a little bit more, you can see that we are drying out, in parts of northwest Georgia, and then that rain continues to move on up into the Carolinas. Let's take a look at the bigger picture. Let me show you what we're watching here as we take a look at the severe weather threat. I'm not concerned about severe weather for us. We're, in fact, just watching that rain that's moving out. You can see that marginal risk, though, that's up into South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia. So that's what's moving away. A cold front is what's pushing that rain out of here. Behind the front right now, it is still on the mild side ahead of it, but then behind it, temperatures will get cooler as we go through the overnight hours and during the afternoon tomorrow. This isn't an Arctic blast or anything moving in, just some slightly cooler air. Coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to take a closer look at those temperatures for the week ahead.
The government shutdown is over, and it only took 3 days. So how did it happen? On Friday, time ran out for Democrats and Republicans to pass a short-term spending bill to keep the government running. That meant there was no money to keep non-essentials like some national parks and monuments open. The biggest holdup? The fight over DACA. Democrats wanted included in the bill protections for dreamers, illegal immigrants brought to the U.S. as children. But Republicans wouldn't play ball. So today, Democrats and Republicans agreed to pass another temporary spending bill, keeping the government in business for 3 more weeks. Congress now has until February 8th to get its act together and pass a long-term spending bill.
And Jeff Hollinger joins us now for a little perspective on what happened here. Do we have any takeaways from all of this?
I think the takeaway is a very simple one. Those who make demands of the government, who threaten to shut it down, ultimately are the ones who lose. We're talking about the Democrats looking to shield 700,000 young immigrants. And they basically have gotten nothing from the Republicans other than a promise for a vote on the issue. They were going to get that anyway. And you can take a step back and say in 2013, it was the Republicans who were making the demands. They shut down the government for 16 days, wanting to change Obamacare. Guess what? After 16 days, they lost. Obamacare was largely intact.
Exactly. What do you think happens now as they renegotiate? Do you think we'll have another shutdown?
Well, I think that's a real possibility. You're talking about February 8th is the date. Who's to say that this will not repeat itself? The liberal base, so the Democrats, is very, very upset. They're very angry with Chuck Schumer and these sort of moderate Democrats. In fact, so much so that now they may challenge some of them in these primary races that are coming up. You know, there's a lot of anger among that base about how this has transpired.
Can there be a compromise?
It does not seem to be a sort of culture of compromise these days, but certainly when you look at what's going on not only in Congress, but also coming out of the White House, where the president had tweeted today that the Democrats turning down services for citizens and security for non-citizens, he's beating the drum on that issue. That certainly doesn't lend itself toward the kind of constructive compromise of which we have come to learn how American government ran in another era. But these are new times. These are wild rodeo times. You don't know what's going to be coming out of the gate. Is it a bull? Is it a horse? Probably just a lot of bull.
Thanks so much, Jeff.